Hey, this is Matthew with Another World Terraria, and you know what this means. That's right, we're doing an unboxing. This is going to be an order from Han Aquatics. I've ordered from Han once before, and I was pretty pleased, so I'm doing it again. And a video that I did recently, I talked about how I'm going to start doing Wabi Kusa and dish gardens, because I'm totally obsessed with the marsh style of dish gardens and Wabi Kusa. So I'm going to be designing my own, and I figured I'd pick up some plants that I've been wanting and some stuff that I can use for said Wabi Kusa. There we go, nicely packaged. Oh, double insulated envelope, look at that. I will make the suspense kill you by pulling out only one plant at a time. This is a miniature Bucephalandra, and that is really small, and I love it. How cool is that? This is a Marsilia. So the Marsilia are actually ferns, which are amphibious. So when they're growing under the surface of the water, aka submersed, they typically have this kind of foliage. They have really interesting, weird foliage with like a single rounded type of leaf, or like a spatula type leaf. There are a number of different species. I'm not sure how many, but quite a good amount. And I ordered 3 different Marsilia. Now when they're growing immersed, which means above water, when they're like in a marsh and they grow up onto the land or whatever, then they get an interesting 4-leaf clover type of foliage. Yeah, it looks just like a 4-leaf clover, but they are indeed ferns. This is Marsilia minuta. This is Marsilia quadrifolia. Here's the submersed with the single spatulate leaf. Yeah, these are probably submersed also, which is interesting. Kind of like a little fern frond type of look to it. Anyway, very cool plants. Super stoked about these. Okay, and here's the 3rd Marsilia. This is Cronata. That is pretty cool. Very cool. Micranthemum umbrosum. People call it Monte Carlo in the aquarium hobby. So that'll be really nice for Wabi Kusa. Liliopsis chinensis. That's really cool. It'll look a lot better when I'm growing it immersed and it, you know, starts to fill in and then it becomes like a little ground cover. That'll be cool. This is a liverwort. It can grow on wet substrate, or it can grow floating on the surface of water. This is Ricchiocarpus natans. The interesting thing about this one is that it's the only species in the genus. So there's literally just Ricchiocarpus natans, and that's it. There's no other Ricchiocarpus. The rhizoids are spreading out into the water, and you can see how the plant will float. There's a single liverwort, little plant there. Liverwort gets larger than that, and it has more foliage in general. Floating, I'm just going to have them in the Wabi Kusa dishes, and also probably in between different containers in carnivorous plant and immersed setups with like cryptocorini and all that kind of stuff. So I like to have floating plants around in those containers because they absorb excess nutrients and they prevent algae and all that kind of stuff from growing. So it's just a good way to keep the water a little bit cleaner, and also it's just fun to have floating plants all around. So that, and then I'm going to be growing these also on wet substrate like wood and rocks, and probably use it in some terrariums and drip walls and all that kind of stuff. Next plant is a species of Salvinia. The interesting thing about Salvinia genus is that they are ferns, and they look really strange. They don't look like ferns, and they are a floating species, or a floating genus of plants. So this right here is Salvinia cuculata. It's a really unique one because the foliage tends to fold up into kind of a cup shape. You can see how these are kind of cupped and they bunch up. So it's really unique. I also have a species already called Salvinia minima, and you can see that it is much smaller, and it has a completely different appearance to the foliage and the growth pattern and all of that. So really cool stuff. If you want to see what I do with all of these different plants that I just unboxed, and you want to see other unboxing videos and see me build terrariums and Wabi Kusa and learn all about all this stuff, please hit the like button on this video and subscribe, and then click the bell icon so you get notified of all new videos.